Thank you very much, Joy. Now we have Celeste
Camperwalla.
Caprowala. Thank you. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Vermont's Canadian Answer for National Survivor.
Figured I'd help him out there. My maiden name is Smith, y'all. So I have a prepared speech, but I think I am going to can it because I feel very comfortable here. I'm amongst friends, and so I just want to talk from my heart. And first of all, those who don't know me, I am a survivor myself. My dad took his life with his firearm in 2014, the day after my birthday. And my birthday has never been the same since. My kids never got to know their grandpa. And my eldest son was 7 months old at the time. And it's interesting, I've done a lot of research on trauma and its effects on your brain and how your brain literally changes. And I can tell you over the course of the last 7 years, all of the people who I have met who are survivors of gun violence, they all experience that. And it's really important that we acknowledge that and that we treat them with so much love and kindness. Because nobody wants to join this family that we have of gun violence survivors. I put 3 stones in the water. I put one in for my dad. I put one in for my mom because prior to my dad taking his life, he was abusive. And so my mom is a survivor of domestic violence. And I don't talk about it a lot because I respect my mom, and so I don't get into the details. But it deeply affects me as well. And I also put a stone in for one of my best friends. Her name is Alicia, and her dad, Don, was murdered in Chicago. And what a lot of people don't know is that the unsolved murder rate is astronomically high. And I'm very, very proud of my friend Alicia and all of the incredible work that she does to try to make changes to that, to try to fix the laws. And another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm a Spartan. And so green. So I know Debbie over here talks a lot about maize and blue, but I am forever a Spartan. And it's interesting because the timing of things. My stepdad also died very suddenly and tragically, completely unrelated. He died of a heart attack just over a year ago. And so I lost both of my dads very, very suddenly. And my stepdad convinced me to attend Michigan State. He was very persuasive, and he took me to the campus at MSU, and it's so beautiful for those who aren't familiar with it. Beautiful campus. Those were some of the best years of my life. And so after my stepdad died, I knew that my next tattoo had to be a tribute to him and to Michigan State. And so on my leg, I have a Michigan State Spartan helmet with 2 swords facing up because I learned that means that you are always ready for battle. My stepdad was a Vietnam veteran, and so I got those to represent that, and then in his handwriting, go green underneath it. 5 days later, the Michigan State shooting happened, and so now it has even more meaning to me. And so I think I'll end with talking about the work that we've done. That's kind of what I've prepared, or actually I did not prepare this. We have End Gun Violence Michigan has our consultant, Ryan Bates, who put together some talking points about what we've accomplished in Michigan, which I'll just briefly touch on because I'm sure that many of you are already familiar with it. You can read about it. And so I thank him for putting this together, and I thank our legislators for being here and for doing the work and to, constantly talking to their colleagues to also do the work. We need to keep putting pressure on the folks who are saying things like, it's not the guns, all the excuses that they make. I won't get into all of them. But I just want to point out the 3 things that we did accomplish so far this year. It happened very fast, and so I'm so pleased that we were able to get this legislation passed. And that is, of course, safe storage, making sure that our firearms are stored properly so that children, we have a hashtag with Moms Demand Action. We say it's not an accident, it's unintentional. These are preventable shootings. It is negligence if a parent or a caregiver or any adult leaves a firearm out for a child to get a hold of it. So we are holding those folks accountable with our safe storage law. We also have background checks on all gun sales. I mean, come on, all guns should have a background check. And then lastly, the one that's really near and dear to my heart is extremist protection orders, because I believe that had extremist protection orders been in place prior to my dad taking his life, his life potentially could have been saved. And so that one, I remember attending a press conference in 2018 when a red flag law was introduced by Senator Bayer and Representative Wittenberg at the time, who was a huge gun sense champion. And it didn't go anywhere. We didn't get a hearing. But guess what? We have the majority now. We have the majority in our state, and we are getting the work done, friends. And so I'm so happy to be here with you all. Our next steps are domestic violence prohibitor bills and community violence intervention, which I know was touched on already. So I'll end by saying that you are not alone, that I know gun violence can feel very isolating, especially if you are sitting in your home watching the news after a shooting that is extremely televised. Turn the TV off, go for a walk, call a friend. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Be bold, be brave, because if you don't do something, who will? Thank you.